Hello, welcome back to the channel, and it's another brew day, and this one is the Big Brew May the 4th, 2024, Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And basically this is, on May the 4th, homebrewers around the world will get together to celebrate Big Brew 2024. Big Brew is an annual celebration on the first Saturday of May that commemorates National Brew Day. It encourages beer enthusiasts and homebrewers of all walks of life to get together and make a batch, or two, or three of beer. This year's Big Brew falls on May the 4th, and we are excited to share 5 official Big Brew 2024 homebrew recipes inspired by Star Wars. Now, myself and Shark from Shark Homebrewing have chosen to do the Empire Strikes Back Dark Ale. We're both going to do it, both brewing today, and then later on the May the 4th, we're going to have a chat after the brew day. And see how we both went on. So, what's in the recipe for this? It's going to be, it says on here, it's classed as a pale ale, which really confuses me, because if you can see into there, you can see I've got a huge amount of carafa free. So we've got pale ale, we've got marisota, we've got carafa free, we've got a little bit of wheat, and we've got some Munich Type 1. And then it's going to be loaded with loads of Citra hops. So we've got Citra at 60, 25, Whirlpool. And what you can't see there, because it's in the freezer, is also a huge dry hop addition. So a target of 75 IBUs, ABV around about 5.5%. And the SRM is, well, for mine it works out 33, so it's between 30 and 35. For me as well, first time, I'm going to be using this yeast that I've seen from Get a Brewed. So it's an AEB brewing, it's a Fermo Ale, AY4. It's an American ale yeast, apparently it's like the Chico strain, so it's a California strain, so that's going to suit the recipe as well. So I need to crack on, get them grains milled, get it in the brew bag, there he is, get it on the stove and start brewing. And then put this video together, and hopefully if this goes out on May the 4th, that evening I'll be chatting with Shark about the brew day. So I'm going to crack on. So I'm crushing the grain, but whilst I'm doing this, I'll put something on screen now, possibly the recipe of the Empire Strikes Back. I'm aiming for a 69 strike water and a 66 mash, because I know I'll lose about 1 degree for a 65 target mash, 60-minute mash as well. But yeah, I'm just getting it to 69 at alarm, and then I can put my grains in the bag. So I've got to my strike water, getting all this now whisked in. Hopefully get down to 66 like I said. Go for 60 minutes on this. Yeah, so it's down as a pale ale, but it's got quite a big carafa free percentage of that in the actual grist, which is going to make this really dark, and I think it will add quite a lot of complex flavours. So I don't see it myself as a pale ale, and it's not quite a brown ale because it's not as complex a grist bill, but somewhere in between. It's interesting anyway, but it's definitely going to be hoppy. So yeah, not as hoppy as a black IPA though. So if you notice, this was separate from the rest of the grist, because this was already crushed. This came in crushed, so I'm just going to add that in now. Quite a big, like I say, percentage of carafa there. It's going to introduce some dark flavours, definitely a colour. But we'll see when it's all fermented and done, won't we? Okay, mash temp reached, so I'm just going to add my salts in, give that a mix, take a sample then, just so I can see what the pH is, so give that a good mixing. With that carafa, that's going to bring the pH down as well, so my salt addition was quite minimal. So yeah, see what, get a sample out, then I'll get this put to bed for an hour, come back to it, get my sample there, like always, just a small sample really, that's all I need. So yeah, get this put away now, 60-minute mash, come back and then raise it to a boil. So yeah, back in a minute. Well, it's a minute for you, well it's not, it's seconds for you. I'll see this pan in an hour. So I've got a pH of 5.5. I'll take that. I'm not going to adjust that. I'm going to leave it as it is. So yeah, I'm happy with that. That's fine. Right, 60-minute done. So I'm going to raise it now just to 75. Do a quick mash out and then strain the bag. There we go, straining the worts out the grains. Good thing about brewing the bag, just simplifies some bits. You know, sometimes I use all the water like I have today, sometimes I use less of the water and then do a sparge. Just depends what mood I'm in, to be honest, and what sort of process I want to do. But today it's just a simple all-in-one water in the bag. I'm going to strain it and then I'll get a pre-boil gravity from this. There's a wort from the grains. Nice chocolatey looking brown colour. So all I've got to do now is get this to a boil and I need to check the pre-boil gravity. I'll put that on the screen. Reached the boil. I'm going to stir some of the protein in now. So this is the hot break. So this is all protein. I've said this before in one of the videos, you can stir it in and it'll just drop to the bottom of the kettle. That's the idea. You don't have to stir it in. It's just if you want to. So you just let it boil for a couple of minutes. So it's rolling and then I can add my first addition in when I feel like it's up to a rolling boil. Okay, so Citra, 60-minute. Never ever have I used Citra for bittering because it's quite an expensive hop. So normally you'd use something, you know, a little bit cheaper but good. So for me, Pilgrim, Magnum, something like that. Chinook, that's another good one. But there we go, I'm just following the recipe. So Citra going in, 60-minute boil. Now I'll come back for the 20-minute edition. 20-minute edition Citra going in. Okay, 5 minutes Citra going in, and then it's going to be the whirlpool. Okay, 60-minute boil done. So what I've got to do now, get them whirlpool hops in. I'll drop this to about 80 and then drop in the whirlpool hops. So what I'm doing now, I'm just giving it a bit of stirring to release the steam, so the cooling point to get it down to 80°C, so I can then add them hops and I'll give it a quick stir like a whirlpool, drop them in and then do a hop stand for 30 minutes. Right, time to give it a bit of a stir for a whirlpool. There you go, so Citra, all Citra going in. 30-minute stand. Time to get that work cooled down to pitching temp, then get it in the fermenter. Okay, so we've cooled to pitching temp. Putting it, I'm not pressure fermenting this one. Going straight in the big glass Demi-john carboy, and I'll put it in the fermentation fridge. Set it for 19. Give it 2 weeks. And I got a gravity of 1055, which is 3 points above, but I wasn't going to liquor back because the yeast I'm using is new, so the attenuation might be a little bit lower than Lalleman's, so I should grab back a 5.5% hopefully. If anything else, it'll be a little bit stronger. So pitching the yeast, 5 grams for this batch, and this is the new yeast to me, AEB, so it's Fermo Ale AY4. If you can hear crunching in the background, it's Ralph eating his biscuits, well, his food. So there it is, it's in the fermentation fridge. So you can see I've just sprinkled the yeast on top. That'll soon just it'll rehydrate in there, and yeah, so like I say, we've got a 1055 original gravity. Going to ferment this at 19 in here, so yeah, check back in 2 weeks now, and I will do a diacetyl rest for it as well, just to raise that. Tasted it, it tastes very, I want to say, dark coffee, maybe treacle on the taste. But there you go, there's Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars Day, Big Brew Day 2024. That's me done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another one.